This video will explain how to estimate the quotient of decimal numbers. Remember, quotient simply means the answer to a division problem. In real life, if we had to do 59 and 9/10 divided by 5, most people would simply round. This is what we call estimating. So 59 and 9/10 is pretty close to 60. So in this case, if we ask ourselves, how many times does 5 fit into 60? Well, we know that 5 fits into 50 10 times, then that would give us 10 left over, and 5 fits into 10 2 times, so altogether this would be 12. If we now have a look at our possible solutions, we can see that we have 119 as an option, 11 and 9/10 as an option, or 1 and 1900 as an option. Since we've estimated that the answer should be about 12, the only answer that makes sense in this case is our 11 and 9/10 estimation. In this example, we have 31 and 32/100 divided by 8/10. Again, using estimation, we know that our first number is pretty close to 32, and our 8/10 is pretty close to 1. So in this case, we ask ourselves, how many times will 1 fit into 32? And we know the answer is 32 times. If we have a look at our possible options, we can see that we have 3,915, 391 and 5/10, or 39 and 1500. Well, since we know our answer is pretty close to 32, the only one that makes sense for us to choose is our 39 and 1500. Let's have a look at this. We have 237 divided by 7. Let's suppose you were given the first 5 numbers of the answer and you had to decide where we should put the decimal point. Well, if we were estimating, we know that 237 divided by 7 is not really the friendliest number. But I think of my 7's times table, and I know that 21 works with 7, therefore 210 would work nicely, divided by 7. I know that 7 fits into 21 3 times, so 7 has to fit into 210 30 times. So I know my answer should be close to 30. So now if I look at my possible options as to where I put my decimal point, I can put my decimal point between my 5 and my 7, between my 8 and my 5, between my second 3 and my 8, and between the 2 3s. Well, if I think about this for a minute, and I say, okay, my answer has to be close to 30, the only possible answer, and the only one that makes sense, is for me to put my decimal after my 33, so my answer becomes 33 and 857 thousandths. Estimation is very important, and you should be able to do questions such as this where we have to place the decimal point. Think about your answer. Does it make sense?